Hey, what's good, y'all? Fusion here, back with another video. Today, I wanted to talk about this Angel Reese conversation. There's a quote that was said, that people have said that she said, "Y'all make 1,400 a week. I make 1,400 in 7 days." This was apparently a quote that was sent by her, said by her, and obviously we know that quote doesn't make sense. There's 7 days in a week. But turns out that this was debunked. This is not real. This was something that was made up by Brick's Center. Obviously, they know what they're doing with this name. They know what they're doing when pushing something like this about her. They know what they're doing when it comes to pulling people together to talk about Angel Reese. She is one of the easier targets right now for easy engagement, easy, it's easy to throw a stone at her and get support because there's a strong group of people that just hate her, mostly for no reason. I'm seeing that there's a lot of Caitlin Clark fans that hate her because of what she did to Caitlin. She cooked Caitlin very, very badly, and they're still not liking it. And as someone who likes Caitlin and likes her game and likes what she brings to the W, and knowing that she's going to be a great player going into the future, it's hard to root for her, man, when you got all these lame losers crying about it and, being racist, obvious racism, obvious hate towards this woman for no reason, that being Angel. And it's corny, dog. It's just another alt-right pipeline, I've talked about this before. There's a couple people and artists or famous people that when you start talking about them, you get onto a certain part of the internet that leads you to the goofy right wing people. Once you start deep diving and really doing some research on where Caitlyn fans go to and who they listen to and what type of style, who they vibe with, there's a path. Same thing as Drake fans. Gambling, these new StockX, or not StockX, Stash, like those weird streamer guys who enjoyed the gambling stuff, like the XQC fans. There's a pipeline there, bro, and it's easy to find, and it's easy to do some research on it. It's not hard. But what I really wanted to do is talk about some of these comments. We obviously know, that this is not a real. First of all, this is another Centel page. Brick Center. Obviously not the same thing, or not a real thing. All over TikTok, people are going and running with this, saying that this is a real quote from her. Here's a dude named Smart, which is ironic that he's reaching out to Grok, asking him what he thinks. Shout out to Grok, man. There's a TikTok page of people talking to Gronk, and it's pretty funny. Gronk owning them and shit. Whatever. Let's look at some more people, and I don't, block out names or whatever. I like to, really show you guys what type of people that these are. And you already know, once you go on Twitter, there's a good amount of people that are bots, but then there's also real life people. So it's pretty funny. It's I was finna say a box of chocolates, but I ain't gonna say that. But like Steve, brother, this is why women are used as entertainment. That's pretty crazy. Did she actually say this? No way she actually say this. Blah blah blah. Gronk, did she actually say this? Angel Reese has a side job. Please tell me I can someone post a clip of her actually saying this? Monkey math. Straight up racism. I mean, find a way to defend this. Thank you for believing this quote. Let's go ahead and see. She actually said this. Look it up. Yes, Angel Reese did. Dude, it's like, and this is what happens. There's already hate on her. There's obviously a racial lens being put on her, and now you're going to quadruple down on it by producing more fake news and more, trolling content. Telling you, bro. It's so obvious what they're doing, and it's so corny. No evidence. It's that Angel is the black version of arrogant, self-absorbed AOC, and therefore she's easily mocked. Bill J said that. Bill is definitely soft. Might be true though, Gronk. I don't know if she really knows. Adam said that. She said it at a press conference. You just made that up. So, yeah. And you could say, that they were putting this as an obvious joke, which it is a joke. We all know that they're trying to make the same joke that has been going on the past 2 years since people, pretended to watch the W. Personally, I don't watch the W. I've watched some games here and there. I'll catch them if they're on, but I'm not actively looking to watch the WNBA. I don't watch the NFL. I mean, I'm just not interested. There's no other aspect behind it. But I know that. I have said that I'll catch games, but I've never been a huge fan of the W. I've been actively trying to watch more games. I've been actively trying to participate more in those conversations and just seeing, what's going on in there, because I do think that the W is on the rise, and I'm thinking in the next 2 years, it will be a more supported product, which I think is just great for sports just in general. But also, I feel like there's a shift currently going on where they're getting fans, and it's sort of sad. Well, let me rephrase that because I misspoke. They are getting NBA fans, and we as people are starting to see what type of fans NBA fans actually are. NBA fans are just like rap fans. They want something, and then when they get it, they realize that they didn't want it. It's just like Marvel fans. They want you to talk about these different plot points, these different heroes, and then you introduce those heroes, and then they're just like, I didn't want that hero, actually. Dude. They're fickle like that. So when you introduce women into the equation, knowing what type of fans NBA fans are, and I can say this wholeheartedly because I don't post on Twitter. That's just not something that I do. I'll go on there, I don't know, see what's going on, see if there's anything that I want to talk about. Porn will pop up at some point, and then at that point I'm just like, all right, I don't care about this no more. That's what Twitter has become. I mean, As someone who tries to stay current with most topics or tries to be in the know and in the conversation with a lot of topics, that's what I use Twitter for. So when I get on here and read some of the comments, read some of the conversations, read what a lot of the new WNBA fans who aren't WNBA fans but are Angel Reese haters who pretend to be Caitlin Clark fans get on here and continue to feed a lie, which will at some point backfire. There's going to be a consequence. This blue check shit, there's gonna be consequences to it. We're already seeing some sort of consequences to the blue check. At some point, I would not be surprised if goofy ass Elon decides to roll this back, because you don't know what's true anymore. Even when you're trying to find something that, I mean, obviously, you know, like, this is a joke. Who gives a fuck? You know, like, oh shit, my bad, y'all. I dropped the mic. Who, like, of course, like, the comment itself is isn't, you know, crazy. Obviously, it is a joke, but because it's Angel Reese, because it's the W, because of you're on Twitter, because of what has already been transpiring and how people treat her, you're just gonna throw even more shit onto her. But if I hear that somebody passed away or hear about a shooting, because we all know that shit happens once to twice a week. There was one, I think there was one yesterday or the day before. I mean, like, you really can't keep up with school shootings or just shootings in general. But yeah. And you try to find some information just so you know, like, what's going on, where you need to be, where you need to not be. I'm in Las Vegas. There was a time where I think there was a shooting here pretty recently. Yeah, there was a YouTuber that came here and it shot those two YouTubers. I was about to say that lady and her husband, but I cannot remember all the way. But yeah, that was on the Strip. There's a shooting at the LAVC, and that's right up the street from my house. That's about 10 minutes from my house. So it's like, when you need that information, when you need to understand what's going on, when you need the 100% truth, and you used to be able to go on Twitter and see that check mark for, like, the legacy media and for places who are most likely reputable, and now everybody else got this shit. Now you're just like, I don't know. And even when you try to go to those places now, they don't know where they're getting the information from anymore now, because of the precedent that is being set with fact checking and how facts are being presented. I went off on a slight tangent there, but all this really just goes back to this, to where this is leading to. I could thrive as a single dude on $1,400 a week. Bro, you are single. Y'all can do math. I can miss shots. William, shut the fuck up. Yeah, like, I've seen this, whatever, and they know exactly what they're doing with these, like, graphics and these conversations and shit. It's corny. Wait, what happened with the Lakers? Okay, cool. Yeah, we got the extension. Shout out to Luka. I always thought I assumed that this was going to happen. I assumed that he was going to lock in as a Laker and see if he could really make a franchise, or make this franchise be what it was. I don't think we're going to get a championship this year, but I think we're going to get to the conference finals, at minimum, maybe finals. we're going to have a very competitive team. I think we're going to improve a lot as a team. Luka's going to have to figure out what type of leader he's going to be, or if he is a leader. And if not, then we need a leader. Sorry to go off on that tangent, but I saw that was trending, and I was curious. But that's pretty much all I have for this video. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think. Also, I'm seeing a lot of comments now. Thank you for commenting. That being said, I will comment back. So, yeah, like, some people have been saying some very interesting things. Again, I comment back. So, just, take that with however you like. Have a good day, y'all.